Fight!
Thank you for watching The Sportsmen. I'm Keith, this is Danny, this is Corey. We're going to get you started today with a little fantasy football advice. So these are our projected rankings personally for the top 12 starting quarterbacks in the NFL this year for fantasy. We did 12 because most leagues use 12 people. So we felt like it would be the fairest number. So these are going to be our 12 people that you should pick up as starters, not as bench players. Let's get into it. We're going to get you started. We're going to go with number.
Let's get it hot. Let's get it cracking.
Unanimous.
Which I don't think is too controversial of a pick. We're going to go with Patrick Mahomes.
No objection.
If anyone has anything they'd like to say, anyone they'd like to put over him.
Just the only valid quarterback to take in the first round. That would be an acceptable first round quarterback. Maybe late first round. If you do it number one overall pick, I think that's ridiculous depending on your league, obviously, unless quarterbacks get a lot of points.
You would say first round?
I would say he's the only acceptable first round quarterback to be taken in the first round.
Piggybacking,
yeah. If someone does a back-to-back pick on that in a 12-man league,
okay,
I can understand it.
All right. So the only. Actually, no. I'm sorry. If you're a reasonable, seasoned fantasy football player, no quarterback is a first round pick. But to your point,
he could be a piggyback.
If you're gonna pick one, it's him.
Yeah.
Second round is totally feasible. I understand it. I totally understand the amount of points he's gonna put up, and his line is improved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which you didn't think it really. Like, he had a great line. Like, obviously playoffs it crumbled last year, but since, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Everything they lost, they gained something way better.
Still got Hill, still got Kelsey. You have Clyde Edwards-Helaire coming back on a second year, which we should see improvement from him.
And he's healthy too. That was the main thing. He got banged up pretty late in the season. That's why they brought in Le'Veon Bell, who didn't see a single touch in the Super Bowl. But that's neither here or there.
No.
So yeah, all the weapons remain the same.
Mm-hmm.
Every weapon remains the same. The only thing is Sammy Watkins is not there, and Mecole Hardman now slides up, which I love, and I think they're better that way.
Yeah, I like
way
it.
better that way.
Agree. I like it.
So the weapons stay the same. Line gets better. Patrick Mahomes only gets better.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go with number 2. Someone lead this one off. Who do you guys got?
I got Josh Allen going number 2. Josh Allen was in the MVP candidate races. He was killing it. He's got Diggs. He's got now Emmanuel Sanders.
Mm-hmm. And still Cole Beasley.
Mm-hmm.
If he plays.
Well, yes.
But so long as Josh Allen's going to keep producing, keeps it doing what he did last year, I don't see why he shouldn't go down. Just one of those quarterbacks that's a threat of the run and the pass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. So my thing that I wrote for him is that they have Diggs and that they added Emmanuel Sanders. My only issue is Zach Moss and Singletary are suspect, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I'm not super confident in that backfield. Now, you're not taking a quarterback hoping that he has a running back that takes over, but it helps. You need a bailout. And if you can get a running back that can take that pass or block or do whatever, run so that you can get the backers creeping up into the box, the running game does help a quarterback. So for me, I agree with you on the Josh Allen at number 2. I don't think there's a quarterback really this year that you could put above him, especially what we saw from Diggs last year.
Oh, yeah.
My only question would be his running back scenario.
That's fair. I literally agree with everything you said.
Okay.
I think he gives you what he gave you last year, maybe a little more because of the acquisition of Emmanuel Sanders. Mm-hmm. It's another weapon, a seasoned weapon. He's not a greedy. History has shown he's not a greedy guy. He is content where he is.
Yeah.
He's content playing his role, and the fact that he is that way, we've seen it on the Saints. Mm-hmm. The fact that he is that way is why I think they will benefit from his presence.
Yeah.
Because Cole Beasley is going to get his. If he plays. COVID aside.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs exposed who Josh Allen really is.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his accuracy went up. Everything went up. His completion percentage, everything. Yards per game. The only thing that went down is his rushing yards per game.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, when all else fails, he's got the legs. So I totally agree. Rushing game, I get it, but he has legs, which is why I like him at 2. And I'm just going to roll right along. With number 3, I think we have Kyla Murray.
I have Kyla Murray at number 3.
Okay.
Corey?
So for me, I don't have Kyla Murray number 3. I actually have him number 4.
Okay. Let us make our points.
Yeah, make your point first, then I'll go
You
in.
make an argument, right?
Okay.
So I'll lead this one off. So I have Kyla Murray at 3. He has DeAndre Hopkins. He just acquired James Conner, who is, he in 2020 had 11 rushing touchdowns and 900 rushing yards. When it comes to fantasy, nothing is better than a rushing touchdown.
No,
it doesn't exist unless you get a huge receiving touchdown, which a quarterback cannot get. But if you have a guy like Kyler Murray with that upside of DeAndre Hopkins, with that potential upside of James Conner, we'll see, and then you throw in 10 double-digit touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards rushing, and he can reach that 1,000 yards rushing. I see the upside in Kyler Murray at 3.
So to add to that, they acquired a veteran pass catcher in A.J. Green, along with what they've already had. So he's grown familiar with these pieces.
Yeah.
And they gained an asset in J.J. Watt on defense. So you're going to keep, ideally, you're going to keep, offenses on the sideline like Kyler Murray operate. So we should see more. I'm expecting more pass attempts. I'm expecting more completions. PPR speaking, I'm expecting everybody else on the Cardinals to improve. Like, I'm expecting all targets to improve across the board. Just because their defense has improved, which was already pretty good. They were like a fringe they're in a really, really, really tough spot because they have to face the 49ers. They have to face Seattle. They have to face the 49ers. Like, I'm not like, dude, we all know football. Those are 3 elite caliber teams.
Yes, they are.
So the fact that Kyler Murray is shining in that division, like, that speaks wonders, and I think he's going to improve. They gave him another pass catcher. They gave him another running back. Like, James Conner is a quarterback-friendly running back. He does catch the ball well. Listen, he had a shit year on the Steelers, so he has a lot to prove, which is why I'm buying into Kyler Murray at 3. Go ahead, Corey.
All right. So I'm going to actually take back what I said about him even being number 4. Okay. But as far as Kyler Murray, where I would personally have him ranked, I would have him ranked 5th.
Okay.
But Kyler Murray, I understand all of what you said and his upside, and I agree with all that. That's why him jumping up to the number 5 spot from his rookie year previous, I think that's a...
And you're at 5?
Yes, 5.
You have him at 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as him, that's a huge...
Do you have
leap
Lamar
from where it
above
was.
him? That's
no,
all I
I do
need
not
to
have
know.
Lamar
So who
above
do you have
him.
at
Okay.
3?
So who I would take number 3 overall is the best quarterback in that division, and that's Russell Wilson.
Okay.
I think Russell Wilson has, with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, proven that he puts up numbers, and he also gives the threat of the run, and he has the sure thing as a run. Not always a sure thing, but Chris Carson always helps him in those short games. I think that him having everything perfectly around him offensively just makes him more of a threat. No, he's not as fast as Kyler Murray, but he can just...
No.
But he's a better passer than Kyler Murray.
Yes. Does it concern you that Russell Wilson, at the end of the day, is in a run-first offense? No matter who their weapons are, that team likes to run, and I don't discredit for them for it. That's why they draft a running back pretty much every year.
So I get where you're coming from, but the only thing is, for the same reason why I put Josh Allen number 2 this year, is that Russell Wilson was in that MVP candidate race
Pretty
as
much
well.
just like every.
He was.
For the past two, that's what I'm saying. For the past 2
he
years,
usually
so
is.
that's what I'm saying. So for me, Russell Wilson's still above him.
But what happens?
But what happens?
He's in the running for MVP, but what happens?
Why
Who, Kyler Murray,
Yeah, no,
you're saying?
for Russell
we're
Wilson,
talking about
for the
Russell
last
Wilson.
2 years he's been in the runnings, and then the second
But
half
what
of the year he
happens?
falls off. Big Ben-esque.
Yeah. But Big Ben
Again.
used to be a good fantasy quarterback. That's why I say, as far as fantasy, I think Russell Wilson's still going to get you those games where he's going to get you 30, 40 points, and he will never get you a game below 25.
Really?
Listen, I'm not.
Really? Are you gonna say that?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson on this day, Corey says Russell Wilson will not get you below 25 points.
Oh, you could quote me on it.
All right,
Better write that shit. Better record that.
I will.
Unless he gets hurt. If he gets hurt mid-game, that's not his fault.
No, but listen. I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. I usually do have Russell Wilson in fantasy football.
Same.
Listen, I'm not trying. This isn't slander Russell Wilson hour, but this is debate the position in which you're drafting. Me personally, I would take Russell Wilson 6th overall. But that's just me.
Okay.
And the reason why is because we've had him with DK Metcalf for 2 years. We know what he could do with DK Metcalf. We know what he could do with Tyler Lockett. We know the long ball is a dangerous weapon. Mm-hmm. We know his legs can work. But that offense is a pound. It's a pound the ball. It's a pound the rock. Run, grind the shit out of your running backs. Even when they're hurt, grind the backups. Grind the backups to the backups. We've seen it. We've seen it last year and the year before. Yeah, I'm not saying he can't go out and fucking seriously do it with his legs or throw bombs because he's done it so often. We've all seen it. The reason why Kyla Murray is above him for me is because week in and week out, he's more elusive. Week in and week out, he has more weapons at his disposal.
Yeah, it's what you do with your legs. Okay.
But again, like I'm not trying to slander Wilson at all because I love Russell.
That's just where you have him.
And he's great. And I'm not shitting on him. But the same reason for what I said to Kyla Murray, elevating his game because of the conference that he's in, like they plays 3 really hard teams. You could say the same thing for Russell Wilson. But the difference is for Russell Wilson is we've seen that team get worse, not better.
Okay.
I hear you.
All right, well let's roll. Let's roll. We got number 4. So for me, I have Lamar Jackson. And I'm just going to go based off of his rushing ability. I'm going to agree with something that Danny's probably going to pull up. His passing is suspect. His weapons are suspect. But I feel like he's the best running quarterback in the league. And as far as fantasy football, that's an asset. So I have him at 4. Anyone that wants to take this one, feel free.
I'll gladly. For me, listen. This is a toss-up for me because I have Dak one position above him, just because of sporting cast reasons. Lamar Jackson's biggest gripe, my gripe with Lamar Jackson is his passing accuracy. Yeah, it has improved. It has. But, you need to tell me your big upgrade. Granted, they drafted a guy who should make an immediate impact. Sammy Watkins wasn't the guy to go get, in my opinion.
No, it was not. I agree with you.
I'm okay with it because any pass catcher is better than none. Because what they had with Willie Snead being their main fucking guy.
Well, he was behind Marquise Brown.
Yeah, main guy.
Hollywood.
Again, I'm going to say main guy.
Okay.
Because Willie Snead, week in and week out, see more targets than Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown may have produced more because he's way more faster.
Yeah.
He gets chunk yardage and this and that. He'll burn somebody to catch a touchdown. So, Lamar Jackson needs that big body. So I understand the signing. Listen, I hope I eat my words by saying I take Dak in front of him. But I can't. Dude, I have a hard time. You guys know I've been super critical on the passing game.
Okay.
And, legs alone, he keeps himself in the top 5 always.
Okay. But you're going.
That's where I stand.
You're going Dak at 4?
I'm going. Yeah. Dak 4, and then I would take Lamar 5.
So my 4 may or may not be a reach, but I think he deserves it. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Aaron Rodgers.
Big reach.
Oh.
The MVP.
Oh.
Who still has Devontae Adams. Who still has proven that he
fantasy.
can do it. Talking fantasy.
Fantasy.
He scored... How many touchdowns? I want to make sure that
I've
I
had
get
him
this
past
right.
3 years in a keeper league, and I'm not.
He had
strongly
48
disagree.
touchdowns last year. He can still do it. I think that is a big factor, as he is the best touchdown quarterback. As why I have Kyla Murray on here for the best, in my opinion, the best running quarterback out of all of them.
Okay.
For what he can do and with his weapons and stuff like that. I'm not saying he's better than Lamar.
Okay.
But for fantasy wise only, I put Aaron Rodgers, the one who's going to get you the most touchdowns, as number 4.
Okay. Without a guarantee he's going to play? But this is just assuming he plays. Okay. Yeah.
This is way too early.
Yeah, it's way too early. Okay, fair. All right, so we were all different at 4. So who wants to take 5, since we know that Corey has Kyler Murray at 5. He's made his point on that one. So, Danny, what you got? Give me a 5.
All right, so... So if it were... Alright, so it's tough. I mean, we have Russell Wilson at 5 on our mutual our list,
Our power rankings.
our power rankings list, we have Russell Wilson 5, which is where like I would take Lamar Jackson 5 over Russell because of the rushing upside.
Okay.
But all right, we're talking about Russell Wilson. I already spoke my piece with Russell Wilson. I'd rather Russell Wilson over Lamar in that like you're guaranteed a passing game.
Okay.
It's a guarantee that Russell Wilson is going to hit Tyler Lockett for a bomb. It is a guarantee that he's going to find Metcalf. That is a guarantee. Week in, week out, it's a guarantee. What he offers you with his legs is a bonus. So I'm not going to shit on, like I already said, I'm not going to shit on Russell Wilson because I really love what he brings to the table. I personally would just flip-flop him and Lamar just because of the serious upside in Lamar's rushing.
Okay. So I have Russell Wilson at 5, yeah, and Corey's got
Kyla Murray.
Murray.
And then number 6, since I'm the only one that didn't talk about him, is I would have Lamar Jackson for what you guys said. He is still the greatest running quarterback,
Which is
and
why I
that
have
skill
Russ.
in fantasy, like you pointed, you get more points for rushing in a touchdown than you do for throwing a touchdown in, and that's a big factor as far as fantasy goes. Yeah, his weapons are terrible. Oh my God, they're so bad that they literally have to rely on that guy to do it all. Mark Andrews took a fall off this past year compared to the first year we saw him as far as fantasy wise, so he wasn't getting doing as well. So I think Lamar just is gonna have to do it all, and if you're gonna have to do it all, you should have all the points.
Okay.
For that team.
Hold on. I want to speak to that. Mark Andrews had a down stretch. He had a very productive season. So he had a similar year to the first year because he emerged the year prior. So we didn't get Mark Andrews for the first half of the year, to where we drafted Mark Andrews last year anticipating production from the go. Then he did, and then he tapered off for like 6 games, and then found himself. But in fantasy football, you can't wait 6 fucking games.
No, oh, hell no.
You find yourself in a hole when you hope on
you
players.
can't be 6 games down.
You can't be a projected 20-point player getting 10. I'm sorry. Unacceptable.
No, I agree. So for me at 6, I have Dak. I know a lot of people have Dak higher. My issue with Dak, and I understand his weapons, I understand CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Gallup, Zeke, is this leg injury. It concerns me a little bit, and I know that Dak is primarily a passing quarterback, but I still have him in my top 6, my top half of a 12-man league as far as starters, but he's going to round out my top 6, so I'm going to go with Dak.
All right, so I'm going to roll right on. So me personally, I would take Dak 4th overall. But that's just because I've had Dak 2 years in a row in fantasy football. Yeah. And last year, through 4 games, he was having the best year he's ever had.
I had him also. 40 points a game from a quarterback.
So, like... Well, last year's prehistoric NFL because it was 16 games.
Seriously.
So we're playing 17 now. So a quarter of a season was flawless. He played phenomenal. And who's going to argue with the running game that has Zeke? Pollard's a great backup. You have Gallup. You have Amari Cooper. You have CeeDee Lamb. You have Jarwin, who has emerged at tight end. Yeah. Like, they are loaded on offense. Like, literally, the Browns are the only other team I could think of that are, like, in that caliber of having that elite of a, like, just on paper.
Okay.
You know, seeing what they do on the field is another thing. But that's why I'm so big on Dak. It's because we've seen on paper unfold on the field, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
And he does add... Listen, I agree. Like, Dak can do what he likes, but he doesn't. He's a passer first. That's why those goal line touchdowns are awesome.
Yeah.
So I expect that from Dak Prescott. However, I understand why you put him there. Okay. And I agree with why you put him there because of injury.
Okay.
He's coming off injury.
Okay.
That much I agree with. I'm very hopeful. You know how I roll.
Okay.
I don't even have him in my top 6, so.
Oh, all right, Corey. Okay. Come on.
Who do you have at 6, Danny?
Me?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
Okay.
No, you had 5 Russell Wilson.
No, I have at 5. I have Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At 4, I have Dak. I have Kyla Murray 3rd, Josh Allen 2, Pat Mahomes 1.
Okay.
All right, so I guess we're ready to go to number 7 now.
Number 7.
But
all right.
Start it off. You want to start it off, Danny? What do you got number 7?
You have nothing on Dak?
I don't
You're
have.
cool?
I'm not on Dak yet.
All right, so 7, which is that's good because we have Justin Herbert at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if last year was the sample size, I want the full course, bro.
Seriously.
Like, that man was a beast.
Seriously.
A beast. Give me a healthy Keenan Allen all year.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Williams, he got better.
Oh, yeah. Austin Eckler.
Everyone got better. And Eckler. Like,
Yeah.
give me a full year of Eckler.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that team is going to be explosive to watch.
Yeah, I keep
Hunter Henry scares me a little bit, but I think Mike Williams improves.
Yeah, I keep Justin Herbert at 7. I have Justin Herbert at 7.
I agree. Justin Herbert at 7. There's no way. I hope that same production. I hope the loss of Hunter Henry isn't going to hurt him, which I don't think it is, so long as you still have Eckler and you still have Keenan Allen. I think he still has weapons to do it. I am worried with a new coaching staff.
No, I'm not.
It can mess you up. Look at Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, when his rookie year happened, he was great, and then got a new coach, and then looked like absolute crap.
It's the same system.
I know. Justin Herbert's built way better. If you're building a quarterback, you want Justin Herbert size. And
I didn't even bring up the rushing.
But I'm just saying, as far as in
5
general,
rushing
is
touchdowns
that
last year.
I'm nervous for it, but I still think that Justin Herbert is talented enough to get through it. That he's still going to be.
Where do you have him?
7.
7?
7?
I have him 7.
All right, so who do we go with at 8? Because, Corey, I know you have someone different than I do.
Yes, so I had Herbert, and now I'm going with the person that I feel like he's interchangeable with 7 and 8, because to be nervous on the same thing is Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Dak Prescott, for what you guys have been saying for the first 4 weeks, we're killing it. I'm scared because of his injury. That injury was gruesome. I haven't seen any videos of him in training camp and stuff like that, seeing how he's looking. But I think he has all the weapons in the world and you have Mike McCarthy as your head coach that throw the ball first attitude. You should still put up good fantasy numbers for everybody else, as long as he stays healthy.
Okay. All right, so for me, that's where I slot in Aaron Rodgers. 48 touchdowns in 2020 MVP, of course. He's not happy. He's probably going to be on a 1-year deal. And I think that, I don't know. I think that's a comfortable spot where I put Aaron Rodgers. He's still good. He's still top 8, but the young guns, I'm kind of putting above him. And that's where I'll stick. I keep Aaron Rodgers at 8.
I have Rodgers at 8 as well.
Okay.
Because I figure he's going to roll out. He's going to bring that. He always does. His rollout game is flawless. He doesn't take that many sacks. He'll get you goal line touchdowns. The fact that he has Devontae Adams, and he's building a rapport with Valdez-Scantling and
Lazard.
and Lazard and St. Brown and all these other guys that are young,
these other
that are
random
going
dudes.
through the growing pains. They've collectively gone through these pains. The biggest reason why I like Aaron Rodgers, again, assuming he plays, that's why he's 8 for me. Assuming he plays, dude, honestly, I don't think it's talked about enough. Tanyan has the ability to be an elite tight end. Let's see it from the beginning of the season. Let's really see it. And honestly, we're taking away from their running backs too. They lost Starks, but they drafted a guy who came in.
Yeah.
I just tipped my tongue. Who's the running back they drafted?
A.J. Dillon?
Yeah, Dillon.
Yeah.
All right, so Dillon behind freaking. Are you?
Aaron
Hold on a
Jones.
second. Aaron Jones is a do-it-all-back.
Yeah.
A.J. Dillon is a do-it-all-back. You literally have that's a good tandem. That's a great tandem.
They just got Randall Cobb back. Don't forget about that man.
Speaking more to Rodgers,
Seriously, Randall Cobb.
talk about familiar territory.
For real.
All right, so I love Rodgers. I just need him to shake the shit out.
Seriously.
Just man up.
Seriously.
Make this
Be
your
the
last
quarterback, you know
dance
what
with
it is,
Devontae
yeah.
Adams. Go ahead. This is the last dance. Good. You better fucking be out to win a chip and not just the last dance. I don't want to see you just go through the motions. I want to see MVP Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. I agree on that. But
But
all right,
8.
I'll move it on. All right, so I'm going to go with number 9, the unquestioned GOAT, Tom Brady. My big thing on that, I don't have too much of an argument, is they brought everybody back. I know he's literally our first quarterback that we're talking about with zero mobility. But it doesn't matter. You have Mike Evans, you have Antonio Brown, you have Godwin, you have Fournette, you have everybody. You have everybody. You have everybody.
You have Rojo.
The entirety of the team. So where fantasy-wise, he's your ninth quarterback. He's your third to last starter. He's not a crazy guy for me, but he's still Tom Brady. He's gonna play better than worse. You're never gonna count on him for a horrible game. I wouldn't expect 40 points from him a week, but I'm comfortable putting Tom Brady at number 9.
I think Tom Brady number 9 for that exact reason is no, I don't think Tom Brady is going to light it up and get you 40, 50 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
But a consistent over 20-point quarterback is someone you cannot complain about.
No.
That is a hard thing to find. There are people that flirt with that all the time, and I feel like we're starting to get to the territory of quarterbacks, of people who flirt the line, of people who can get you a big game, but can also get you a terrible game as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tom Brady's the last consistent, one of the few quarterbacks that are coming up on here that are going to consistently give you over 20 points.
All right. Here's where I shake everything up.
Okay.
I take Matt Stafford there.
Okay.
The reason being is that Matthew Stafford, year in and year out, has not been a top-notch fantasy producer, but he has not been a waiver wire rider. In any leagues we do, competitive leagues. Actually, hold on. I'm going to walk that back. He has rode the wire. I think those years are behind us. He's in a good system. It's questioned to be seen how he's going to be used. But dude, his arm speaks for itself. You got McVay as your coach. You have a competent running game. You have Robert Woods. You have Cooper Kupp. You have a very good tight end. Very good. They lost Everett, but still, they have enough at tight end. You have Van Jefferson, who just showed enough as a rookie to earn himself a constant role. And they brought in Deshaun Jackson as a burner from the slot. They brought in Deshaun Jackson before they got Stafford. They in their heart knew that they were going to get Stafford. And they needed a burner that he could throw to. So I'm going in with high expectations for Stafford. All your Tom Brady shit, yeah, you're right. And I can't debate anything you guys said. But I'm going with the big arm. I think Stafford is going to flourish on the Rams.
No, that's not too big of a stretch in my opinion, because I have Stafford number 10. So I think for the exact same reason that you said is I think Stafford's got the big arm. He's one of those people that I feel like can either get you a big game or he can also throw you 3 picks in the game as well. Mm-hmm. He's one of those quarterbacks where I think you just at the number 10 spot.
What, he's got a little Jameis in him?
No, not Jameson. Never that, but
but not that bad.
Not that bad, but yeah, I think he's worth the risk in my opinion. He has always had good numbers with Galladay in Detroit and with Calvin Johnson putting up numbers and stuff like that.
Well, he doesn't have Calvin Johnson.
Not anymore.
But no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
That I think with the plethora of receivers he's going to have in the Rams, that he should be fine.
So you go 10. That's your 10 pick.
That's my 10 pick.
All right. So my 10 pick. This is where I may shake it up. I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow. Now I know the questions of that line because they didn't do shit about it, but Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, plus Joe Mixon, that as far as receivers is arguably a top 3 receiving core in the AFC. It is scary. He's loaded with weapons. We know he's a gunslinger. We know the man can put up numbers. It would have been a question between him and Herbert for Rookie of the Year if they would have considered if Joe Burrow never got hurt. And how exciting would that have been to see Joe Burrow and freaking Justin Herbert both lighting it up?
Oh my God!
But it's that line that shakes it up for me. But I feel confident rounding my top 10 out with Joe Burrow.
Okay, that's fair.
Danny, who's your 10?
Alright, I'm going to go with Joe Burrow as well.
Okay.
Because the man throws 40-plus times a game. That's what I want. Especially when you have that many studs. You just added Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
You're going to have a healthy Joe Mixon. Assuming he stays healthy.
Yeah, seriously.
Joe.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Fucking guy screws me every year, I swear to God.
That'd be nice.
Anyway, Joe Mixon. Better stay healthy. T. Higgins, Corey's boyfriend. For those that don't know, for those that don't know, draft night, This man was jumping, praying that the Saints were going to take T. Higgins in the first round, and then he slipped to the second. Well,
that would have been good if they got him.
He would have been really good
from the start.
Jameis Winston throwing it 7 yards short of him this year.
We've seen T. Higgins. He's the reason why AJ Green is not there anymore. Legit. For real. Let's be honest.
They have a solid 1, 2, and 3 of guys that could be 1s or 2s on other teams.
Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Interchangeable 1s, interchangeable 2s, interchanable 3s.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Wherever they play is wherever they're going to line up. Does not mean they stay there. No. I like it. Joe Burrow, the biggest question mark for, I speak for all of us here, is that they didn't pick an offensive lineman early in the draft.
Yeah.
That is my only concern with Joe Burrow is like, come on, you silly fuckers. Yeah. Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah,
your boy got hurt because he got hit too much.
Yeah.
That should be your main priority. Granted, you tell the organization, being Joe Burrow, that you want Jamar Chase. This is my college teammate. We set records together.
This isn't college.
Fine. I love it. They don't have the line where they could be making gambles on a word.
No.
Like, these are big, bad motherfuckers on defense that are out there to make big hits to prove themselves.
Yeah, this isn't college.
All that being said, the man does have a ridiculously high completion percentage for the limited games we've seen. Mm-hmm. He throws an absurd number of pass attempts. So, all that being said, you're getting better in the receiver department. I love it. I will take him as my 10. Originally, he was my 11, and for these reasons, I've talked myself past it. I like him at 10.
All right, so I'll get it started with number 11. I got Matt Stafford right here. I know you guys have made both your points on Matt Stafford, and he's been taken by you guys. I'm going to go at 11. The reason I have him that low is because you always have the upside. Is first of all, he has an insane receiving core. He has a great line. He's in a great system. The Rams are another one of those teams. They like to run the ball. Doesn't matter who their running back is, they like to run the ball. And we've seen Matt Stafford only in a system that only passes the ball. They've never relied on running backs. Like Matt Stafford, who's his best running back he's ever had? Reggie Bush. When Reggie Bush had a year
technically speaking, Adrian Peterson.
Well, yeah, technically. Like I'm saying, like his most
but no, Reggie Bush.
When he
I
had
agree.
Good years, yeah, when they.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with Reggie Bush.
Now he's in a system that good running back or bad running back, they know how to run the ball. I love Stafford. I would, of course, keep him as a starter in a 12-man league. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to stick Matt Stafford right at number 11. Who you guys put there? Because you guys have both taken Stafford already.
So for me, number 11 is Ryan Tannehill.
Me too.
Ryan Tannehill is number 11 because how are you going to argue with him having Julio and A.J. Brown as their receivers? I understand the concern for having Derrick Henry chew away some of the points that you might think. But I think he's already proven it last year as far as fantasy goes. He was a consistent
2,000 plus receivers. Yeah, I know.
And
I get it.
So Derrick Henry doesn't show that he doesn't shy away from still doing good enough to be your starting quarterback in fantasy football. So for him to be number 11, Tannehill.
Derrick Henry.
Sorry.
Yeah, Tannehill. All right, Danny, you have him there? You have him at 11?
So yeah, I have Tannehill at 11 for the reasons Corey said.
All right,
and and you know what? He would be higher. He would be higher for me because of the addition of Julio. Mm-hmm. But we've seen it as the years have went on. They rely more on Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
To where we're not going to see Tannehill's true ability until they can't rely on Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
and
it's
you know
not
what?
Going to be this year.
It ain't going to be this year, which is why I have him there. Because I feel comfortable with starting him. I do, because I know he's going to have great games.
Yeah.
He offers some rushing upside, too. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, this is a running team.
Yeah.
That's why he's below my top 10.
Well, that will lead me right into my next one, because I have Ryan Tannehill rounding out my top 12 as my last starter.
Okay.
For the same reasons as you, I think Ryan Tannehill is great. I think the addition of Julio Jones is great. That offense belongs to Derrick Henry. That's his offense.
Yeah, it is.
And I think that, again, Tannehill's great. He's proved it. He was the QB7 last year, if I'm correct.
I believe you're correct.
But I still have him as my starter, but he rounds out my starters for me. Who rounds out your starters?
He's
right.
one of those guys that earns the starting spot on your fantasy.
Yeah, whatever.
So my number 12 is going to be the risk it for the biscuit pick. I feel like it's Deshaun Watson as far as fantasy quarterbacks. He is the only one who is elite enough of a talent that he is so high caliber compared to everyone else, where if you choose to take him at that spot, it's not going to be too much of a difference if you pick up anybody else.
Sure it is.
If he doesn't
But
play.
if he doesn't play, it's a risk. But I think Deshaun Watson's still that caliber of quarterback that you risk it at that last spot of getting quarterbacks.
I'm not even going to say my ranking, but speaking on Deshaun Watson, Corey, you're 100% right.
Mhm.
If he plays, he's top 5. Top 6.
So
I
if you can get
feel
him at
comfortable
12?
with a top 6 player. Like,
Yeah.
so, assuming risk, let's say he
Yeah.
does play, then you hit the lottery.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have concerns with that. I have concerns
risky.
with
I
putting
know it
him
is.
as a starter. I understand
It's
what
bold.
you're saying.
I
'Cause
like it.
agree. He's a top tier quarterback. I'm not that bold. If we
I do
knew
like
if
it,
we
though.
knew a little more, but again, this is still July. This is still late July. If we
Yeah.
knew more,
Like,
maybe
it's a risky
but
pick.
I'm not comfortable with
And
it
we
as
talked-
a starter.
And we talked, like, prior podcasts, like, reporting and playing are two totally different
Yeah.
things. Yeah, he reported to camp, but, like, is he going to be a part of the
Yeah,
team?
I was just saying we don't even know if he's allowed yet, and so
But
that's my
hold
whole
on
thing.
a second. I do want to walk that back a second, though. Even the fact that he's even allowed to partake in training camp, it means that he has to, PR speaking, have something going his way. Has to.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't
I don't want to speculate.
I
but
know.
we'll see, Yeah.
I'm being a little too like
Open.
glass half full,
Yeah.
not glass half empty, if you will.
No, I hear you.
But dude, I'm always looking for the upside, bro.
Okay.
Like,
Well, is that your 12? Is Deshaun Watson your 12?
hell no. Hell no.
Okay. All right.
Hell no.
It's risky. I
Who's
know.
All right,
12?
so my 12 is actually, even for me, this is a little funny. I have Jalen Hurts at 12.
Okay.
Reason being is yes, the Eagles were in disarray. Carson Wentz is gone. Zach Ertz is reportedly returning to the Eagles. You have Goddard. You drafted receiver. Help me out here, guys. Heisman.
Devonta Smith.
You drafted Devontae Smith, who has a prior report with Jalen Hurts at Alabama. I don't know. I like the fit. They have a lot of young guys that are out to prove themselves, and he offers a lot of rushing upside in a weak division.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Redskins are weak, and I'm not saying the Giants' defense isn't good. He has a chance to actually go out there and like make a name for himself.
So it's funny. I'll take that from you. So the Jalen Hurst thing. It's very interesting that you bring him up at 12. And this we'll get into another video. He's very high on my backups, and he's another guy where he has a potential for 1,000 yards rushing and God knows how many touchdowns, maybe double digits. But is he the full-time starter?
I know.
That's what scares me. And my whole thing for a starter is you want a solid starter.
Yeah.
Nothing to dispute as far as what you guys are saying, because this is your number 12 pick. Just to sum up what I think on Jalen Hurts is that I think that Jalen Hurts is risky, where I think it's almost
it's a
as
risk.
risky as
It's a risk.
I think it could definitely be great potential, and I think it's equally as risky as Deshaun Watson, just because of the fact of the matter is that they're both in dumpster fire of organizations, in my opinion, right now. But Deshaun Watson's talented enough to still get it done, where I don't know if I genuinely don't have that confirmed belief yet in Jalen Hurts that he's talented enough to do it.
Before we dismiss and move on, but I want to literally give you props for what you just said. He offers like similar like skill, like it's similar to Deshaun Watson this year in that like where you would pick Deshaun Watson and him. Like I like that because you're right. Deshaun Watson, if he's playing, is a sure thing. To where Jalen Hurts is a little bit of a risk because you don't know. We
He's
haven't
not
seen
Deshaun
that
Watson.
much.
Yeah.
No.
in that, I love that comparison though, because both are pocket passers first that rely on their legs to extend plays, and for that reason that is the only reason why he's at 12 for me is his legs, the fact that he could create when the play collapses. But dude. I honestly, I was not gonna.
I got a good sell going on.
I was not even gonna even buy into the Deshaun Watson buzz, like this and that. He's in camp, whatever, this and that. You're right. If you're gonna gamble on Watson, it's gonna be later. And you know what? There are gonna be other guys that you can pick up that you know you can plug in. Yeah, they're not gonna set the world on fire, but they're gonna produce. They're gonna give you enough. As long as your main guys go off, they're going to give you enough to keep you relevant. That was good though. I give you honestly, Corey, mad props on the Deshaun Watson proposal. I like that.
We like it.
Thank you.
But all right, we're gonna cut it off there. Thank you for watching the Sportsman. Be sure to check out more of our videos for fantasy advice. We're gonna have this going all the way up to fantasy and through fantasy. We'll check you next time. Make sure to check us out on Twitch every Friday live, 8 p.m. Eastern. We talk about sports. You're going to check us out at twitch.com or twitch.tv/thesportsman. And until then,
so we can debate you.
Yeah, so we can debate you.
Yeah, bring the heat. We want it.
But we'll get you next time. Peace.
Be good.